Welcome. This presentation is for those who want more information on the Defiance County General Health District's Operation and Maintenance Program for Sewage Treatment Systems. Why do sewage treatment systems now require an operation permit? Under an Ohio law which became effective in 2007, each owner of a sewage treatment system, or STS as it is abbreviated, must apply to the health district for an operation permit. The program does not require upgrades to be made to a sewage treatment system unless it is found to be creating a public health nuisance. The system does need to function as originally intended. The regulation does require that regular maintenance and/or inspections be done on the system. Let's get the 10,000-foot view. Studies done in the 1990s found that 1/3 of sewage treatment systems in Ohio are failing to operate as designed. These failing systems cause public health issues locally and contribute to water pollution downstream. The state legislature was moved to take action to protect public health, improve water quality, and protect our investment in rural infrastructure by requiring proper maintenance of what is already in place. Why is there a fee? This is an unfunded mandate on local health districts. Rules were adopted to allow health districts to charge a permit fee to cover costs. The district looked at fees charged by other health districts who have already started this program. $15 per year was similar to other health districts, and this was the fee that was adopted by the Board of Health. To be effective, the program must be able to support itself. After 4 years, the fees will be reviewed and may go up or down depending on costs. Permit fees can only be used to fund services in the sewage program. By law, the fees collected through O&M program have to stay in a separate sewage fund. Fees are used to cover the costs of additional staff hours necessary for mailings and data entry, developing homeowner education programs, and offering office and field consultations. It is also used for office supplies, postage, envelopes, paper and printing services, and computer equipment. The department has contracted with a software company to develop geospatial software to allow for the professional storage, tracking, and display of property records and maintenance. Regarding fees, the health district is required to use a cost methodology formula defined in Ohio law to track costs and revenue. Over the first 4 years cycle, the district will carefully track these costs, and based on the state cost methodology, the permit fees will be adjusted upward or downward. All revenues must stay in the district's sewage fund. The health district cannot use these funds for other purposes. Each owner of an STS should be receiving a packet in the mail in a plain white envelope. This packet contains the cover letter, the application, the terms and conditions of the permit, a pumping frequency chart, and a current list of registered service providers and septic haulers in Defiance County. How to avoid scams. Septic haulers and service providers are required to register with the health district on an annual basis. Each business must show proof of proper bonding and general liability insurance to the district. This protects the homeowner. These companies are generally very busy and do not have time to call homeowners to solicit work unless there was a prior contract. Use the list included in the mailing, or call the health district, or check the district's website for updated lists. Suspected scams can be reported to the Defiance County Sheriff. To obtain your operation permit, fill out the application to the best of your ability. Take a few minutes to review the terms and conditions. If you have any questions, you can contact the Health District. Next steps. Return the operation permit application along with payment made to DCGHD to the Health District. Once the application has been processed, the department will send a notification letter that the operation permit has been issued. As records come in and are reviewed, systems will be moved from a pending status to an approved or disapproved status. Those on a disapproved status after the 4-year permit expires will be placed on a compliance schedule. Let's review some of the required activities under the terms and conditions. Tank pumping. The tank will have to be pumped at least once during the permit period unless the tank has been pumped in the 2 years prior to the beginning of the permit period, which begins June 30th, and it meets the pumping frequency specified in Schedule B of the STS supplemental regulations. The tank does not have to be pumped right away, just sometime during the permit period. System evaluations. If the tank does not need to be pumped, owners still need to have a basic safety evaluation. One example would be the case where a tank is in place, but it is receiving no waste because the structure has been raised or abandoned. The owner then has the choice to maintain the system and have it inspected, or apply to the district for an abandonment permit. The evaluation can be done by a registered service provider or the health district. A homeowner may become registered to perform an evaluation of the system that serves the home in which they reside. Homeowner registration as a service provider. Local rules allow homeowners to register as service providers to evaluate and make repairs to the system that serves their personal residence. To get registered, number 1, take the service provider test provided by the Operator Training Committee of Ohio. Provide a copy of your certificate to the Health District. This is a one-time test. Receive additional training from the Health District. The training will depend on what type of system you own. Complete the district's registration application and return it to the Health District. The homeowner must then conduct the inspection during the calendar year in which they received the registration. Evaluations and reports must be submitted to the district within 30 days, and all homeowner work and reports are subject to inspection. What should be checked during a basic inspection? Inspect the area around the tank. Look for root intrusion, water intrusion, non-functional or missing components, or signs of collapse. Inspect the outside and inside to ensure that no storm water is being directed into the system from the sump pumps or gutters. Look for safety hazards, cracked or unsecured lids or caps, and electrical hazards, or sewage cross connections with the drinking water system. The latter often found in homes with pond water systems or water softeners. Inspect the tile fields, mounds, inspection ports, and other components of the system for cover maintenance, animal damage, or seepage. If the sludge level is being measured, those measurements need to be included on the inspection report. If it is an aeration tank, the motor must be operating. Any repairs must be done according to the manufacturer's instructions. Determining pumping frequency compliance. Option 1. Take actual measurements inside the tank to determine if the tank needs to be pumped out. The tank needs to be pumped if any of the following conditions occur. The scum layer plus the sludge layer is greater than or equal to 30% of the total liquid depth in the tank. If the bottom of the scum layer is less than 3 inches from the bottom of the chamber baffle or outlet or T. Or if the top of the sludge layer is less than 12 inches from the bottom of the chamber baffle or outlet. Or the second option is to follow the pumping schedule chart. In this example, we see a 1,500 gallon tank that is being used by 4 occupants. In that case, the chart says it must be pumped out every 4.2 years. If you don't know what size tank you have, the health district may have that information for you. The second method is to follow the pumping schedule chart. In this slide, we see an example of a 1,500 gallon tank and 4 occupants in a household. It shows a pump out schedule of 4.2 years. On this slide, we see some common components of a sewage treatment system. The first is a lift station. The alarm will come on to alert the homeowner if there's a problem with the pump. The second is a riser common to an aeration tank. The third shows a septic tank with the inlet pipe and baffle. The fourth is a distribution box that is used to equalize the flow between sand beds or leach lines. The last is a septic tank that is operating properly. The majority of scum and solids are accumulated in the first chamber. The second chamber further clarifies the effluent. Let's talk about maintenance costs. Pumping a tank typically costs $150 to $300. The cost often depends on the size of the tank, because sewage treatment plants charge the hauler a per gallon disposal fee, so fees between treatment plants will vary. And there's also the labor costs. It takes longer to pump a tank that is packed with solids than one that is well maintained. And it also takes longer to find and dig up a buried tank lid than for those that have risers. This slide shows the importance of septic tank cleaning. On the left, we see a properly functioning tank. The scums and solids are retained, and waste has time to break down inside the tank. The second tank is filled with sludge. Wastewater is completely untreated, and solids are leaving the tank, clogging the rest of the system or polluting the environment. Should risers be installed on the tank? Risers should save money in the long run by saving labor to dig up the yard to access the tank. Risers are affixed to the top of the tank with screws and sealant, preventing water intrusion. A permit is not needed for their installation. There are typically 2 lids that need to be accessed on the top of a septic tank for pumping and inspections. Risers can be made flush to grade to allow for mowing. Material costs run from $60 to $80 per riser. Next, we'll discuss tank filters. Tank filters are installed on the outlet of the septic tank. They prevent fines from entering the leach bed or mound, preventing clogging of the soil pores. The soil pores are essential to the moisture absorption. They reduce pollution entering a stream. Filters need to be cleaned with a hose when you notice the toilets do not flush as efficiently. The cost is $60 to $100, but it's cheap insurance for your system. Aeration systems use a pump to inject air into the tank. This provides enhanced treatment of effluent. Because of this enhanced treatment, many of these systems were installed in the 60s and 70s with no further treatment after the tank. The cost to get an aerator pump working ranges from $1,500 to $5,000 depending on the extent of the repairs needed. Pumps should be installed and operated per the manufacturer's instructions. Usually continuous operation will prolong the life of the pump. Aeration systems need routine service to check every 6 months. The pump must be cleaned and inspected to prevent premature failure. The pump installer can offer a service contract to check the system on a regular basis. Aeration tanks must have functional motors, alarms, and electrical controls. Any updates to the controls should be placed on the outside of the home for easy access. These units need to operate in accordance with the manufacturer's specifications. This concludes this presentation. If you have any questions or concerns, please contact the Health District.